The automotive world is buzzing, and Honda just dropped a shocking bombshell that could change the car industry forever. For decades, Honda has been known for its reliability, efficiency, and engineering excellence, but what they've unveiled now is more than just a new car. It's a complete reimagining of what driving will look like in the future. Imagine a vehicle that combines the best of electric innovation, artificial intelligence, and affordability, all in one package. This isn't just another press release about a shiny prototype. This is Honda signaling a direct challenge to Tesla, Toyota, and every major automaker currently dominating the EV race. What makes this revelation so powerful is Honda's timing. The auto industry is at a breaking point. EV adoption is accelerating, governments are enforcing stricter emission laws, and traditional automakers are struggling to balance rising costs with customer demand. Honda has been relatively quiet compared to rivals, but this silence wasn't weakness, it was strategy. Behind the scenes, the company has been preparing a bold leap forward, one that could flip the competitive landscape overnight. Insiders are calling it a Tesla killer, but it's even bigger than that, because Honda isn't just focusing on electric cars. They're aiming to reshape the very foundation of mobility, from how cars are powered to how they're driven, maintained, and even owned. At the center of Honda's Bombshell is their revolutionary next-generation EV platform, codenamed E-Architecture. Unlike the piecemeal EV strategies we've seen from other automakers, Honda is going all in with a scalable, flexible system designed to power everything from compact cars to SUVs. But here's where it gets interesting. Honda isn't stopping at batteries. The company is investing heavily in hydrogen fuel cells, solid-state batteries, and AI-driven software that could make their vehicles not just more sustainable, but smarter than anything currently on the road. Imagine a Honda that learns your driving habits, predicts maintenance needs before they become problems, and communicates seamlessly with smart infrastructure in real time. That's the future Honda is building. And the biggest shock. Honda claims they'll deliver this future at a price point regular families can actually afford. While Tesla continues to push high-end models and legacy automakers struggle to keep costs under control, Honda is promising a mass-market EV that undercuts the competition without sacrificing performance or reliability. This could be the move that finally makes electric vehicles mainstream, not just for early adopters, but for everyday drivers who have been waiting for a practical and affordable option. But Honda's announcement goes even deeper, because they're not just betting on cars, they're targeting the entire ecosystem of transportation. Their new strategy includes energy solutions, charging infrastructure, and even partnerships with renewable power providers. In other words, Honda doesn't just want to sell you a car, they want to become the backbone of a clean energy lifestyle. This means charging stations that double as energy hubs, vehicles that can power your home during outages, and networks that allow cars to talk to each other to prevent accidents before they happen. Tesla, Toyota, Ford, and GM are suddenly staring at a storm they never saw coming. Tesla built its reputation on innovation, but its biggest weakness has always been affordability. Toyota has leaned on hybrids for years, but their EV rollout has been painfully slow. Ford and GM are pouring billions into electric trucks and SUVs, yet constant recalls, rising costs, and delays are weighing them down. Honda's Bombshell strikes right at the heart of these vulnerabilities, and that's why the industry is rattled. A company that was once seen as safe and steady is now emerging as a direct disruptor, capable of taking market share in places where others thought they were untouchable. What makes this even more dangerous for Honda's rivals is the brand's reputation with consumers. People trust Honda. They trust the engines, they trust the longevity, and they trust the value. If Honda can take that same trust and attach it to EVs with cutting-edge tech, it could trigger a massive migration of loyal buyers away from competitors. Think about it. A family deciding between a $45,000 Tesla Model Y or a $30,000 Honda EV with the same range and better reliability, it's not even a question. And this isn't just speculation. Honda has already partnered with tech giants and battery developers to ensure they don't face the same shortages and production nightmares that have crippled other automakers. On top of that, Honda is moving aggressively into autonomy. Their announcement hinted at a future where Honda cars won't just assist you with lane keeping or adaptive cruise, they'll offer true hands-free driving in real-world conditions. By leveraging AI and a new global data sharing network, Honda is aiming to create self-driving technology that doesn't just rely on expensive sensors but actually thinks like a driver. This would be a game-changer, putting autonomy in reach for the average buyer instead of keeping it locked behind six-figure luxury price tags. The ripple effect of this move could be enormous. Dealerships that have been struggling with shrinking margins might suddenly see a lifeline through Honda's aggressive expansion. Suppliers who were tied down to outdated combustion engine contracts could find new demand in Honda's EV ecosystem. Even governments pushing green policies will likely embrace this shift, because Honda's plan aligns perfectly with emission targets and sustainable infrastructure goals. Every move Honda makes is calculated, and this one feels less like a gamble and more like the execution of a strategy that's been carefully building for years. And here's the kicker: Honda isn't working alone. Their alliance with General Motors on battery and EV tech was just the beginning, but this bombshell reveals something much larger: a global network of partners working in sync to accelerate the transition. Instead of trying to dominate the EV race alone, Honda is quietly building an army, and that might be the smartest play of all. While rivals fight to protect their turf, Honda is constructing an entirely new playing field where collaboration beats competition. Yes, because what comes next could be the most brutal chapter in automotive history: a full-scale price war. If Honda truly launches a mass-market EV at a price point far below its rivals, the domino effect will be immediate. Tesla would be forced to cut prices again, a move that has already eaten away at its margins and frustrated investors. Ford and GM, who are already losing billions on their EV divisions, would be pushed into a corner: either slash prices and risk financial collapse, or hold steady and watch customers flock to Honda. Toyota, long the king of affordability, would face an identity crisis if Honda beats them at their own game. This kind of shakeup doesn't just hurt the automakers, it reshapes the entire supply chain. Battery producers, steel manufacturers, chip makers, and even logistics companies will be caught in the storm. Lower prices mean slimmer margins, and slimmer margins mean every player in the chain will be forced to either innovate or go under. Imagine the impact on dealerships. Suddenly they're pressured to move more volume just to stay alive. For consumers, it looks like a dream: cheaper EVs, better technology, and more options. But behind the scenes, the industry could be heading into a bloodbath, where only the strongest and smartest survive. And Honda's strategy suggests they're ready for this. Their global manufacturing footprint gives them an edge most competitors can't match. Plants in Asia, North America, and Europe can be rapidly retooled to handle EV demand, meaning Honda can scale production faster and more efficiently than companies still tied down by legacy systems. They're also betting big on vertical integration, controlling more of the battery production process to shield themselves from the kind of shortages that have plagued rivals. This is how Honda plans to not just compete, but dominate. But here's where the real genius lies. Honda isn't framing this as just an automotive story. They're selling it as a lifestyle revolution. The car becomes part of a bigger ecosystem, tied into your home energy grid, your workplace, even your city's infrastructure. When people buy a Honda in this new era, they're not just buying a vehicle. They're buying into a future where energy, mobility, and technology are seamlessly connected. That narrative is powerful, because it appeals to both the practical consumer and the visionary dreamer. And if Honda pulls this off, the ripple won't stop with cars. It could bleed into motorcycles, scooters, commercial vehicles, and even aviation. Remember, Honda isn't just a car company. They're an engineering powerhouse with a hand in multiple industries. By proving they can crack the EV code, Honda could become the blueprint for how the rest of the transportation world evolves. Governments are already taking notice, and the reactions are telling. In the United States, lawmakers who've been pushing for faster EV adoption see Honda's move as a gift. A reliable, affordable EV from a trusted brand could help accelerate national climate goals, while also boosting consumer confidence. In Europe, regulators who have been skeptical of lagging automakers are likely to cheer Honda's strategy, using it as proof that the industry can, in fact, move faster towards zero emissions. And in Asia, where competition is already fierce, Honda's bombshell could ignite a new wave of innovation as China's EV giants scramble to defend their dominance against this unexpected challenger. Investors, meanwhile, are sensing both excitement and fear. On one hand, Honda stock could surge as markets realize the company is positioning itself at the center of the EV revolution. On the other hand, rivals like Ford, GM, and even Tesla could see their valuations shaken if investors lose confidence in their ability to keep pace. Wall Street has always rewarded disruption, and Honda's announcement is disruption on a global scale. If the company can prove that its promises are more than just headlines, we could see a dramatic reallocation of capital, money flowing out of the old guard and into Honda and its partners. But there's a darker side to this as well. Entire regions whose economies depend on traditional auto manufacturing might face sudden upheaval. Cities built around engine plants, transmission factories, and oil refineries could see jobs vanish almost overnight if Honda's strategy accelerates the decline of combustion engines. For policymakers, this creates a difficult balancing act. Encourage the EV revolution, but prepare for the economic shockwaves it could unleash. And let's be clear, this isn't just about cars. It's about energy, labor, infrastructure, and geopolitics, all colliding in real time. Think about the oil industry for a moment. Every affordable EV on the road is one less car filling up at the pump. If Honda succeeds in flooding the market with mass-market electric cars, the demand for gasoline could nosedive faster than analysts predicted. That would send shockwaves through oil markets, hitting producers, refineries, and even countries that rely on crude exports to fund their economies. Suddenly, a corporate decision in Tokyo could ripple out to Riyadh, Moscow, and beyond. And yet, while the risks are enormous, the opportunities might be even greater. Honda's vision offers a pathway to cleaner cities, reduced emissions, and an entirely new wave of technology-driven jobs. If governments lean into this transformation, by funding charging infrastructure, supporting battery innovation, and retraining workers, Honda's Bombshell could be remembered not just as a corporate strategy, but as the spark that accelerated a global energy transition. Consumers are the heartbeat of this entire shift, and their reaction is nothing short of explosive. For years, drivers have admired the promise of EVs, cleaner energy, lower running costs, cutting-edge tech, but the reality has always hit hard. High sticker prices, limited charging networks, and doubts about long-term reliability. Honda's Bombshell directly targets those pain points, and that's why ordinary people are paying attention. Picture a family of 5 who's been holding on to their aging minivan because EVs felt out of reach. Suddenly, Honda introduces a spacious, reliable, electric SUV at a price comparable to a gas-powered alternative. That's not just a purchase, that's a lifestyle upgrade. Or think of the commuter who's been eyeing Tesla for years but couldn't justify the cost. If Honda gives them a sleek, affordable EV with the brand's legendary reliability, that decision becomes effortless. Social media is already buzzing with speculation, with forums filled with comments like, "If Honda delivers on this, I'm trading in my car tomorrow," and, "Finally, an EV for normal people." This kind of organic excitement is priceless because it signals something automakers have been chasing for years: mass adoption energy. Honda isn't just attracting the tech-savvy early adopters, they're pulling in mainstream drivers who care about affordability, dependability, and ease of ownership. And it's not just about cars themselves, it's the ecosystem Honda is promising. Consumers are increasingly aware of how their vehicles fit into their daily lives. A Honda EV that charges at home overnight, powers their house during an outage, or integrates seamlessly with smart devices isn't just convenient, it's transformative. Buyers aren't just looking for a car anymore, they're looking for solutions to problems that stretch far beyond the road. What makes this moment even more electrifying is how quickly consumer psychology can snowball. Once neighbors see neighbors switching to Honda EVs, the pressure builds. Communities that once resisted EV adoption could suddenly flip, as people realize the cost savings, reliability, and tech advantages are simply too good to ignore. Honda's biggest weapon isn't just the product itself, it's the wave of cultural momentum that follows. And let's not forget, Honda has an ace up its sleeve: loyalty. Millions of Honda and Acura owners worldwide have been waiting for a reason to stick with the brand as the world shifts to electric. If Honda gives them that reason, the migration will be massive. Instead of hunting for new customers, Honda is activating a base that already trusts them, and that could be the factor that pushes this entire strategy over the top. The luxury market is bracing itself, because Honda's Bombshell isn't confined to the mass market. It has ripple effects that could destabilize premium brands like BMW, Mercedes, and Lexus. For decades, these companies have justified sky-high prices with advanced technology, prestige, and exclusivity. But what happens when Honda begins offering similar cutting-edge features: AI-driven autonomy, solid-state batteries, seamless smart integration, at half the cost? Suddenly, the prestige badge doesn't carry the same weight if the technology gap disappears. Take BMW, for example. Their i-Series has positioned itself as futuristic, sleek, and tech-focused. Yet if Honda delivers an EV with equal or greater range, faster charging, and advanced AI at a fraction of the price, buyers who once stretched their budgets for German luxury may start questioning the value proposition. Mercedes faces the same dilemma. Their EQ lineup is bold, but it's also expensive and sometimes plagued with software hiccups. Honda, known for dependability, could swoop in with smarter, simpler tech that just works. And Lexus, Toyota's luxury arm, will feel the heat directly, since Honda's move threatens Toyota's broader EV strategy. What's fascinating here is how Honda's approach reframes luxury itself. Instead of focusing purely on status symbols, they're redefining luxury around practicality and intelligence. Imagine a Honda EV that not only drives itself but also lowers your electricity bill by feeding power back into your home grid. To a modern buyer, that might feel more luxurious than leather seats or a shiny badge. In other words, Honda could shift the definition of prestige from owning the most expensive to owning the smartest and most efficient. That's a cultural reset the luxury giants are not prepared for. And once again, consumer psychology plays a huge role. Younger buyers, especially millennials and Gen Z, are far less concerned with traditional prestige than previous generations. They want value, innovation, and sustainability. If Honda offers all three while luxury brands continue charging a premium for incremental upgrades, the younger demographic could abandon the old hierarchy altogether. This would be devastating for companies like Mercedes and BMW, who depend heavily on brand image to command loyalty. Investors in the luxury sector are watching closely. If Honda's strategy scales, we could see a situation where the luxury EV market fractures. Premium buyers either flock to Honda for smart practicality or demand their luxury brands innovate faster than ever before. The pressure could force luxury automakers into a costly arms race of tech development, driving up R&D spending while shrinking profit margins. It's the exact kind of squeeze that topples giants when they fail to adapt quickly enough. And here's the real kicker. Honda isn't just planning to compete in sedans and SUVs. The company has hinted at electrified sports cars and performance models that could directly challenge icons like the BMW M Series or even Porsche. If Honda leverages its engineering expertise to deliver performance EVs with everyday affordability, it could break down one of the last protective walls luxury automakers have left. If Honda's Bombshell has made anything clear, it's that the auto industry is now in survival mode. When one player shifts the game this dramatically, others are forced to react, and that often means alliances, mergers, and desperate partnerships. We could see struggling automakers pooling resources just to keep up. Imagine Ford and Volkswagen strengthening their EV collaboration, or legacy luxury brands partnering with tech firms to fill the innovation gap. Even Tesla, a company built on independence, might be pressured into unexpected partnerships if Honda's momentum eats too far into their market. The irony is that Honda has achieved this power not by being the loudest, but by being the most strategic. For years, they stayed in the background while rivals burned billions chasing headlines. Now, they've stepped into the spotlight with a plan that is bold, affordable, and disruptive all at once. The car industry as we know it is standing on the edge of transformation, and Honda is the one pushing it forward. For consumers, this is a moment of pure opportunity. Cheaper EVs, smarter technology, and a faster path to sustainable transportation. For automakers stuck in the old way of doing things, it's a wake-up call. Adapt or get left behind. And for the world at large, Honda's Bombshell may very well be remembered as the spark that redefined mobility, energy, and even luxury for generations to come. Because in the end, this isn't just a car story. It's a revolution, and Honda has just lit the fuse. And there you have it. Honda just changed the game, and the ripple effects are only beginning. But the real question is, how will the competition fight back? Will Tesla slash prices again? Will Ford and GM survive the pressure? Or will this be the moment Honda finally takes the crown? Let me know what you think in the comments below, because your opinion matters in this conversation. If you found this breakdown eye-opening, don't forget to hit that like button, share this video with your friends, and of course, subscribe so you don't miss our next deep dive into the biggest shakeups in the auto industry. This story is far from over, and trust me, you'll want to be here when the next bombshell drops.